So there's a few things in life that we simply can't control. Obviously, one is aging. I mean, that doesn't even need to be spoken. We can't defeat age. We also can't defeat change. Change, it's a certainty. It's inevitable in all aspects of life, not just with your age, of course, our health. The ability to control it, it becomes a lot harder as we age to control our health. So the things we're doing today won't be enough, in 20 years from now, as far as, the foods we're eating, the workouts we're doing, things change. So we have to adapt with it. That's pretty logical. But a lot of people that I talk to have a hard time with adapting. They have a hard time with change. I understand it. We get complacent into a certain part of our life where we're comfortable. We're okay. Things are okay. There's nothing that's outweighing my thoughts to the point to where I'm starting to go into a negative mindset, and things are starting to become hard every day. When it gets to that point, you're already lost. You were behind. There were signs long before it got to that point that your mind, your surroundings were telling you, let's make some changes, let's adapt, let's keep going forward. So most of the times when people tell themselves, I'm okay, that's probably true today. At the same time, what's okay today is not going to be good enough tomorrow. So growing is just part of life. It's what happens. It's what we do. Imagine if you were the same person in third grade as you were in 11th grade. It'd be ridiculous. You would never feel comfortable. You'd never be able to feel like you fit in, and you would set yourself up for failure early in life. I say that as obviously a far-fetched, that's a far-fetched thing I just bring up as far as, what's the word, analogy. No, obviously, nobody is going to. But imagine if your surroundings didn't grow with you. Imagine if that little circle of people or that environment that you were in never evolved from third grade to 11th grade, which it is like that in a lot of countries or a lot of households in this country. You grew because your surroundings didn't grow. You never explored outside the box because the box was comfortable. You were okay in it. So a lot of the times, your surroundings are either holding you back or they're pushing you far beyond your comfort zone, which is how you grow. But for the most part, most people like to feel comfortable. And comfortable is great. Comfortable feels nice for the moment. But again, what's comfortable today isn't going to be comfortable in 5 years. If you're not changing, you're going backwards. If you're not growing, you're losing. Blockbuster Video, remember that? Maybe a lot of you don't that are watching if you're younger, but for the most part, Blockbuster Video was the king in video rentals. This was long before Netflix and anything like that. You wanted to see a movie. If you didn't go to the movie theater, you waited for it to come on DVD or VHS, and you went to Blockbuster and rented it. Huge business, huge. 10 years ago, the Blockbuster, the owner, was presented with the idea of Netflix, and they turned it down because at the time they didn't see no growth. They saw no vision there. They said, we're good today. Well, fast forward 2019, and you don't see them. They don't exist no more. Netflix, on the other hand, is a $150 billion company, and they've developed their own brand, Netflix and Chill. You don't hear Blockbuster anymore, and that's simply because the owner and the CEO he didn't see a reason to go forward because he was comfortable in the place. The company went under, Netflix is booming, and that's the end of that story. That goes for a lot of the aspects in our own individual lives. If we're not growing, your surroundings are. You can't stop them from growing. You're not. You can't stop things around you from trying to better themselves. And if we're talking business, you better believe the people around you, as far as competition, they're growing or they're trying to grow. Now, how they're growing and how fast they're growing, that's going to be up to them. But the idea that you don't go forward in business, it just simply cannot exist in your mind, because there is no going forward if you're not doing anything different. You're going in a straight line, and the straight line eventually goes down. That's it. There's no straight line from the beginning to the end, because your straight line is going to get buried in the quicksand quick, very fast, while the others are going to skyrocket, and they're going to go up into the skies and just float and hover way above you, leave you in the dust, expanding themselves, creating a newer vision, simply because they understood it's inevitable. It's necessary to grow. It makes you grow as a person. No matter what, you have to grow as a person to grow in anything in life. Very definition of insanity is doing nothing different and expecting different results. Good, you're gonna get that if you do nothing different. That's yours. You're gonna inherit that. You don't have to work hard for that. But if you're looking to grow, whether it's through a business, as a person, as a parent, everything around you is changing. You must adapt. With our own kids, it's way easier for them to come across things they shouldn't be coming across because of the internet. Long are the days that you can tell your kids something and think they're going to believe it until they're an adult, and by that time they've established their own values and understood the point to begin with. No. There's 7-year-olds that are going to question what you're telling them as a parent. They're going to go to Google, pull it up, say, hey, Dad, you were wrong about this. Check this out. That's happening today. You telling your kid that Santa Claus is real, they're going to go Google, is Santa Claus real? Because one of their classmates maybe said it wasn't, and they're going to find out real quick the truth to a lot of things. So we can't simply act and carry ourselves the way we did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 2 years ago. Everything's changing. It's important for us to adapt and grow with it. Again, this is not just one specific area of growth. This is in life in general. We need to grow, adapt, make change, because it's going to happen with you or without you. So it's best that you stay with the times, educate yourself, learning, continuing to see what things are going on around you and adapt to change with it, like water. Like Bruce Lee said, you need to be like water. You need to be able to flow, go along with things. But at the same time, you want to be able to see these changes coming, so that way you can always be one chapter ahead. And it's not that difficult to see change, especially now with technology, the way we've seen things happening. My example of Blockbuster. What else do you think is going to be getting taken over by the internet or simplicity? Just to kind of give you a few, I think maybe newspapers eventually are going to be a thing of the past. Why would people need them when you can Google anything and get any news that you want at the fingertips of something that's a cell phone, which took over camera sales? Kodak. You ever heard Kodak in the past few years? No. You don't need to anymore because your cell phone, iPhone, has high definition quality pictures. You don't need a big old camcorder like you used to have just like this. Your phone does that for you. Again, Steve Jobs was an innovator, and he saw a lot of things long before other people did because they were comfortable where they were at. Steve Jobs was never comfortable. But he also understood with growth comes more responsibility. Back to my thing I just said earlier about a 6-year-old Googling, is Santa Claus real? Steve Jobs didn't let his kids have iPhones or any of these electronic devices because he understood the power that came with them. So as you're growing, you also need to understand that growth is going to bring a lot of responsibility and a lot more awareness to people at a younger age. So definitely make sure that in your own specific situation of growth, whether it's business, just you as a person, school, parenting, you need to make sure that you're growing, and you need to stay educated with those specific areas of your life, because the internet is giving you opportunities to see what works, what doesn't work, what others have tried and failed. These are great things to use. The social media is fantastic when used correctly. YouTube is great when used correctly. You can go to YouTube and rebuild an engine, but you can also go to YouTube and figure out how to, go in there and build a pipe bomb. So you need to know what you're doing as far as the information you're getting and how to apply it to your life. So I hope this helps somebody, at least one person, just making adaptations and changes in your life. I think we're all, for the most part, we all know what to do, but we don't all do what we know. So it's important to just kind of sit back and reevaluate our life and make the right changes for the growth of ourselves, of our business, of our family. These all things matter. And I would like to see everybody succeed in every area of their life. I think most people do. Most people are good people and want others to do well because it creates a good environment, especially those around us. So hopefully this helps somebody. If you have any questions, please come see me. I'm growing daily and I'm learning a lot of things. And I'm very happy with the way my life is going day by day. But I still have a lot more things to get to, a lot more things that I want to achieve. So I'm going to grow every day. So I hope this helps at least one person. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys soon.